The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Drop Zone. Now introducing your host once again, the team of Jeff Walsh and Anthony Young.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Drop Zone. I'm your co-host, Anthony Young. Along with me is my partner in crime, Jeff Walsh. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. Another week, another week. Excited once again.
That's good. That's good. And I just checked. It looked like we finally got everything streaming in sync finally. After only took 3 weeks.
hmm Like we said, just be patient. Be patient. We'll get it.
So what we got on tap for us today, bud?
A lot of NBA stuff. Season has ended. NBA finals have concluded, but the offseason has started. And what an offseason it has been. And then we got just a few NFL news.
Um, let's start with the NFL news because I'm pretty sure the NBA news is going to take a lot longer because I know we had a couple of trades and stuff like that. So
hmm All right. So the one main NFL one that I want to talk about is Shedeur Sanders.
oh, your buddy,
We
huh?
yeah, we always talk about all the time how players get in trouble for stupid things and they can't just be good and just not get in trouble and just like we do that every year. Every year, multiple times a year we talk about it on this podcast all the time.
Yes,
And
we
now
do.
this absolute idiot has been cited twice this month for speeding. He was cited for going 101 miles an hour in a 60 mile per hour zone. What are you doing? He was. Oh, I like that. That's cool. I um. 41 miles per hour over the speed limit in a 60 mile per hour zone. And on June 5th, he was driving 91 miles an hour. There he is. There's Jason. He's a ding dong. He is.
Here we go.
He is. He's a ding dong. Driving 91 and 65. Let me just say this. Shador, you are getting paid, or I mean, sorry, you slipped all the way down to the fifth round. A projected third overall pick. You slipped all the way down that far. And it wasn't because of your talent. A lot of reports said it was because of your character. And you're now proving it. Can you please just be smart? Because this is so fucking stupid. I'm so annoyed when NFL players can't just be actual humans and they think they're above everybody else. Because if this was an actual human being, and if this was not an NFL player, they would be arrested and be in jail right now because that is a criminal speeding charge. No, nope, no. Tomlin, he doesn't deal with it. So that's that's what I'm mainly pissed off about is that these players think that they're above everybody else and they get away with a lot of this stuff just because they're NFL players. He would be arrested and probably in jail right now for that speeding twice. But again, no, Sh- he's Shooter Sanders. He's an NFL player and he's Deion Sanders' kid, so he won't get really in trouble with it. Stupid, it's BS, and I'm really sick and tired of these players getting away with a lot of stuff that they really probably shouldn't have and getting away with. That's, that's my rant on that.
Um, yeah, when I like as soon as it happened and I sent it to you that he got in trouble, I my first question was the exact same thing, bro. What are you doing? You went from being an alleged first round pick, draft pick, to falling all the way down to the fifth round. And this is not the first citation he received. This is the second one
Hmm.
for the same exact thing. At some point, common sense needs to kick in. I mean, do you really want to start your career off being suspended for stupidity?
Well, he does because he's done it twice now.
I mean, at some, like I said, some point, common sense got to kick in. I mean, you can't go around thinking, well, I'm a celebrity, I'm an NFL player, I'm above the law, I'm above everything else. I'll never get in trouble. Bullshit. You still get in trouble. The
Hmm.
the law might, give you a slap on the wrist, but the NFL, we all know how Roger Goodell is. My favorite person, he don't mind slapping a player in the face.
Yeah, he'll discipline them.
I mean, as much as I can't stand Roger Goodell, that's one thing I have to give him credit for. He will discipline you if you fuck up. So yeah, I mean, I get it. He's young, but at the same time, your dad was an NFL Hall of Famer. You should have common sense by now and know, okay, let me not do this and let me just show up to OTAs and minicamp and prove that they made a mistake waiting to the fifth round to draft me. Because right now he's looking like they made a smart decision.
Yeah, he's proving everyone's worries about his character. He is proving it, and the season has pretty much just started. Just show up, work, and like you said, prove to everybody that let you fall that low. Just
Yeah, but
prove him wrong, and
I
he's
mean,
proving them right now.
I agree with you and everything. And Jason, I know you come in here saying that his dad's loud too, but Dion does have the right. He's a Hall of Famer.
Hmm.
I think it was more of yes, I'm pretty sure Dion did have a little bit of a hand in scaring a lot of teams away because he basically came out and said he basically tried to pull an Archie Manning with Eli Manning. I don't want my son playing in here. But at the same time, Shamor did have a lot of bad, poor interviews with a lot of teams. And I'm sure that's what mostly likely scared him away.
Jeez.
Well, I mean, I understand that, but the fact that you still let your dad be your agent, that's your dumbass fault.
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is just Dion wanting to say in everything, which I think it goes like hand in hand of like I understand that you want like what's best for your kids, but at a certain point you kind of need to just let them do their own thing and let them have their own career and let them be their own person. Like you don't got to be like right behind them all the time. Like they're already successful. They are talented. It was just Shador had very again bad attitude problems and he's now showing it. He's showing that he's very immature at the moment by doing the speeding stuff twice now.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand once. Okay,
Hmm.
you got a nice sports luxury car. You out want to test it. Okay, I get that. Still, I'm not condoning it. So don't come at me in the comments saying, "Oh, you condone that type of stuff." No, I'm just saying I understand where he's coming from. He got to bring, he's a kid. It's like a kid on Christmas Day with a brand new toy. But
Hmm.
to get a citation twice for the same exact thing, now you're on the level of stupidity.
Yeah, I mean that's again criminal speeding. He's going almost 60 over, 60 over the speed limit. That's just dumb. That's just dumb. Like he could have really hurt somebody. He's lucky he didn't.
Or even worse, he could have killed somebody or killed himself.
Hmm. You're being an absolute idiot.
So, but there is also another NFL thing I want to talk about, and it's the first time this has ever happened in the NFL. Um,
Okay.
Travis Hunter Jr.,
Hmm.
the first rookie to get his guaranteed money upright. It's not stretched out throughout the contract. He got his signing bonus immediately. That was the first thing he got.
Hmm.
No NFL rookie, no
Wow.
actually, yeah, pretty much no NFL rookie has ever done that.
Well, then he better be something special. I'm not gonna say anything negative about him. I wanted to say that, but I didn't want to have anyone at me in the comments for that one. So I was gonna just leave that one for that. But you said it, Jay, not me. Um, I'm not gonna talk about anything bad about Travis Hunter again. He was a great player in college, so I think we'll just have to see what he does in the NFL. And I do hope that he's worth all that guaranteed money. So like, we'll see what happens with that. You know.
I mean, we're sure he's going to turn out well. I'm not too sure about playing both sides of the field, offense and defense. Um, I know we have had players that have done that, but before you decide to do both sides of the field, I mean, get one side perfectly down. Focus on one key area and then expand.
Yeah, like, I think he's probably best suited for their offense. I think that he would do a lot bit better in their offense than on their defense.
I think he's best suited for the defense because that defense needs help, especially that secondary.
I think they'll have him on like a snap count. I think what's best is that they'll have him on a snap count for the defense, but he'll mainly play offense.
Only time could tell.
Again, like we'll see. It's very early. We will see what happens with the season and how he'll do. Jay knows his stuff, man. He he does a lot of research. So, but yeah, again, like we'll see. Like we'll see like what time tells with that. And again, with that guaranteed contract stuff, I'm happy for him. He's now has money to support his family, which is great. I never gonna knock that off of somebody. So
Now let's just hope he be
he's
smart
worth
with
it.
his money.
Yes, and not like his college teammate right now. He you know how he's staying quiet. He's staying quiet. He's showing up to his practices, OTAs, and not doing anything stupid. So,
That we heard of.
hmm yeah, it is it's a different game. So we'll see how he adjusts to the NFL with everybody being very very strong, tough, and physical.
This is true.
hmm All right, that was pretty much the only NFL thing I had. That was just really nothing has happened in the NFL right now. Everyone's just doing their OTAs and the practices. Uh, Steelers still haven't signed TJ Watt. I'm not even going to get into that. That's just whatever.
Jay,
Until
don't
anything
get him
happens,
started.
nope, just Hendrickson still isn't signed with the Bengals, so a lot of people still holding out right now. So that's pretty much it for the NFL. NBA again, I said has a lot. The finals are over. Thunder beat the Pacers in Game 7. An unfortunate injury happened in that first quarter. Fuck, god damn it! Tyrese Halliburton tore his right
Another
Achilles
Achilles.
in in the in the first quarter with five minutes left. Shea won Finals MVP. Um, I have a few things to talk about with just this whole kind of series. I wouldn't even mind that, just but like I
Just
like
not the
TJ Watt. I
Ravens.
do like no, that's fine because like we get something out of it. Whereas if he leaves in free agency, then we're kind of screwed. But um, Hallie, I mean, this was an amazing run for the Pacers. It really was. They were underdog in every single one of their series. Uh, the Thunder, I think, avoided disaster. They were odds-on favorite pretty much this whole playoffs. I don't think this because they were so much more talented than this Pacers team. I don't think it should have went to even 7 games. And the fact that it even went to seven and Halliburton made three threes to start the game. Huh? um, it's just sad because I, with how this game was going, I think Pacers could have won this game with how Hallie started playing. He had 9 points in the first 7 minutes. He was he was looking like a big game Halliburton. So it's just there you go. Like what you mean by Brunson?
Yeah, I was a little bit confused with that one too.
hmm So it's a very unfortunate injury that happened. I'm gonna have you comment on this game, and then I got to comment about something else or like a few other things about just this series. So
Well, I mean, it's been a rough series. It's actually just been a rough postseason period in the NBA. I mean, we've had three key players go down all with Achilles injuries. And I know it's going to spark the debate of whether the NBA should shorten the season or. Personally, I don't think they need to shorten the season. I think what they need to do is return back to the old playoff format where the first round was best of five, and then you gradually go to best of seven. Having each round best of seven, all you're doing is literally increasing chances of injuries. Because I mean, let's face it, you're now going into May into June. You're getting players playing more games because you're doing best of seven throughout the entire playoffs. Because owners want basically they just want more money, which is what it comes down to. The owners are being greedy, and we're seeing the effects of it, where players are tearing their Achilles tendons, or mostly ACLs happen mostly in football, but there has been occasional ACL tears in basketball. But they need to figure out something with the playoffs so they're not dragging out into late June.
Yeah, it's getting to the point. I mean, I think Achilles tears are a very freak accident, and it's like they're not very common. But to see three of them in the same playoffs is like kind of crazy to see.
Exactly. And I'm sorry, but this is where owners and the general managers, as well as the head coaches and the training staff, they need to also protect the player, especially if a player has usually if you have a calf injury, that's a sign of heading to an ACL, Achilles tear.
hmm We saw with KD.
Exactly. So if I have a player that's saying he has a calf injury, guess what? You're not playing until that calf injury is 100%, because I'm not going to take the chance of losing you for an entire season because you want to come back and be a hero. I get it. It's the playoffs. You want everybody to be available, but at some point, you got to protect the player.
Yeah, and I mean, commend Halliburton for going out and playing. I understand this is like a once in a lifetime opportunity to be in the NBA Finals. You never know if you're going to get back there again. It's just like you gotta just, and now you're going to be out for a whole year plus with an Achilles tear. It's like I understand where he was coming from, but I don't know if it was really worth the risk. You have McConnell and Nemhard who could definitely pick up the slack as we've seen in the playoffs when he has a bad game. It's just like I don't know how much of like if it was really worth the risk. Like I understand again, like he started off having a great game, but as you see, it can change in an instant, and it did. And I mean, I feel so bad for him because I mean I've liked him more as a player just throughout these playoffs and what he did and the underdogs that they were. Again, you know me, I love an underdog story. I love that team of just they have no chance, they have no chance, and they keep just proving everybody wrong. It's just sad, uh, but I'm sure that they'll be back. Uh, Hopefully this team stays. They're so young that I hope that they stay together for a while. And then when he comes back from that Achilles tear, that he's hopefully a lot of the same player that he already is, but it's tough. I mean, it's a big injury to try and come back from. So
I mean, I get with modern technology, there is a chance to come back sooner, but even then, that's not still 100%.
no, again, it's a very risky thing to come back from. It is. Um, Russ for 1 year. I mean, that wouldn't even be enough. He's not the same player as Halliburton.
Well, it won't be Durant, and we'll discuss that in a few minutes.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I, that's all I'm gonna talk about on this series. But I mean, like, not really. Because I I just had to say about another rant coming, another two probably actually. Um. I think ESPN's coverage of this NBA Finals was an absolute joke. Watching a game was almost impossible. The only good part was hearing Mike Breen's call. He was the only one who seemed like he was all there. Doris Burke and Richard Jefferson absolutely sucked. Um, Richard Jefferson acted like he was commentating for NBA 2K. He he was hitting one-liners and didn't know what to say after he was reading a script. Doris Burke, she she would s- talk about something that would take about 5 words and make it a whole paragraph. Um, and then between their pregame show, halftime show, postgame show, I didn't watch any of it because the whole set is brain dead idiots. Stephen A. Smith has no basketball knowledge, and I'll keep saying it. I don't really care what people think. I don't care if he hears it. I don't care. I really don't. Um, he has no basketball knowledge. He has his team of researchers look it up, and he just screams and shouts. It lets it all out with with nothing to back it up. Because when Halliburton went down at the halftime show, all he was doing was screaming that someone needs to step up on the Pacers. No shit, someone needs to step up on the Pacers. Thanks, Captain Obvious. Screaming it doesn't give you the right to just scream, and there's no knowledge or think how are they going to step up? What can they do? What can they run? Nothing. Nothing was said. Kendrick Perkins, I don't think knows where he is half the time. You can't understand him a lot. He mumbles his words. He stutters. He really doesn't know. Honestly what he talked about when he said he was the heart and soul of that OKC team. When he was on it with KD and Serge and Russ and all them. That was a joke. Um, and then I think Bob Myers is the other one, the former GM of the Warriors. Um, he's the only one there that actually I think knows what he's talking about. And then Malika she doesn't really know what she's talking about either. Uh, just their whole coverage of the whole thing was absolutely, I mean, almost unwatchable. It was on what it really was. I wanted to have it on mute, but Mike Breen saved it. If Mike Breen was not commentating, I would have had that thing on mute the entire time. I don't care. That I don't know why they'd ever get rid of Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy. That was the best to listen to in the NBA Finals or just even the NBA playoffs when they would do it. But those three have no chemistry, and that pregame, halftime, and postgame show is I don't know if anyone even watched it. I know anytime I was watching the game, I was off from work and I was watching the game. As soon as it hit halftime, I went downstairs and I made some food. I did not put myself through that. I didn't. I couldn't do it. So that's my little rant about ESPN. They need to do better. They need to. I don't know what they need to do. They just can't have those three commentate the NBA Finals again because that was tough to listen to. As you know, like they're color commentators and they're not really providing much stuff for the audience. They're just, oh wow, he did that. I'm like, okay, cool, but like you're not providing anything. You're just like I don't know. It was just again a bad showing for ESPN and how they just showed the
um,
NBA Finals. I mean, I don't know. That's just all I can really say about it.
don't know how to follow behind that, but only thing I can say is, um, I agree with you. That trio just ESPN got to get out of the habit of just because they're former players doesn't mean they could be sportscasters. Not every single one of them has that ability. I agree with you. I mean, it's painful when they have Richard Jefferson on to watch anything. Um, Stephen A. He's for a person who claims to have a lot of basketball knowledge, really doesn't know much. He's a great debater, and he's good when he's on first take. And maybe he was trying to just do everything he can to try to save what was going on, but that is not his wheelhouse. I agree. I mean, Disney and ESPN letting Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy and a whole bunch of people go that they really shouldn't have. I mean, I understand it was probably a business situation or decision, but at the same time, I mean, you got to look at the ratings those guys was bringing in during the NBA playoffs and finals. And I'm pretty sure the ratings for this finals, I mean, granted, during the game it might have been good, but when it came to the post game and halftime and pre games, I'm pretty sure nobody was paying attention.
I know I didn't.
I mean, and I don't. Once again, I understand the NBA is a business and they're trying to make it as much as they can, but pulling TNT away from the NBA was. I don't agree with that because at least that NBA crew, they had chemistry together.
Mm,
They was fun to watch. I mean, yeah, sometimes you couldn't understand Charles Barkley or Shaq, but
they at least have good basketball knowledge. They
exactly.
have knowledge of the game, whereas they just on ESPN they just piece people together, and it just doesn't work. It just doesn't.
And I'm sorry, I for the love of me, I still can't understand why Kendrick Perkins is still a sportcaster on ESPN. I can't for the love of me figure it out.
I can't either. He just again ever since he said that thing about I mean, smaller market, but I think it was entertaining to watch. This was two very young, up and coming teams that made the finals. It was entertaining to watch. I really, I think the games are very enjoyable to watch from from a coaching and a player's aspect. It was just the commentating really was a tough listen. Again, I almost had it on mute. I would have loved just having it on mute. I wouldn't have cared, but
I mean, I
just.
get where Jason's coming from. I mean, let's face it, the Pacers and Oklahoma really aren't, the glamorous teams,
Mm,
like the Lakers or Celtics or Golden State, you know, teams like that. But at the same time, it felt good to see two different teams playing for the championship instead of at least one
mhm.
of the normal teams that's always there.
Yep. And that's why I really enjoyed watching it because it was something different. Oh, okay. Bozo. But it was so entertaining to watch. I love when Stephen A gets put against like actual players that like have knowledge and then they just clown him. That's why I loved when JJ Redick was on ESPN because he would school. Stephen A. Smith every chance he got, and Stephen A. hated it. Stephen A. absolutely hated when he did it. So, but speaking of Stephen A., we're gonna go into his former colleague, Skip Bayless. That absolute asshole. Couldn't believe what he said. This is a tweet. This is a tweet that is still on his Twitter. I don't know how he still has a platform. He only made his career by trolling LeBron James. This is the quoted tweet. The Pacers brilliantly took the big game pressure off Halliburton, who routinely no-shows by planting the injury excuse that the media swallowed whole. Then the fucker tears his Achilles. You motherfucker. I would love to see Skip Bayless's old ass tear his Achilles and see how people feel, or to see how he feels about tearing his Achilles and calling that fake injury. I I Shannon Sharp should have kicked his ass after what Skip said about Damar Hamlin when that whole thing happened. I don't know if you remember that, Tony,
Yeah, I
but
remember that.
he he was damn near dead on the field, and Skip, I don't remember what he tweeted, but it was something very just out of line, out of pocket. And now he's doing this, and again, he made his whole career off of pretty much just trolling LeBron James and hating on him for almost no reason. And you know me, I'm not a big LeBron James fan, but he's a one of the all-time greats. And Skip never wanted to admit it, and that's what he got his career based off on. And just him and Stephen A. yelling at each other for 2 hours. That's how he got his career, and then that's how he got on FS1, the big contract there, and then that's how Shannon got there with them. And Shannon, and again after that whole Hamlin situation, Shannon's not having it. I don't blame him. Skip, I don't know how he's still employed anywhere with the stuff that he says, and every other tweet after the one that he posted was nothing but feeling bad for Halliburton and all that. I'm like, you fuck. Then why would you even tweet that first part in the first place? Just to get reactions and views, and it was just stupid. I mean, I like I posted in our group. I think that was one of the most assholest things I've ever seen posted on Twitter by a media person for the NBA. And I say media very lightly because he doesn't really have. He's not one of the big media people like he used to be, but he's still in the media. It's just really just
Well,
gross. It's so disgusting.
well, I can tell you why he still has a job because controversy creates cash.
Hmm.
The more
And
controversial he could be, the more cash that they draw in.
yeah, well,
And
I
that's
mean
what,
that's just sad. That's how we live now. That's
and that's
just,
what he does. He creates controversy, which creates guys like me and you that go off on him saying because he says the stupidest shit. And it's people like us that's basically keeping him going because he says something is going to piss somebody off. Just like made you go off on a rant, and it keeps his name in the spotlight. Now, I guarantee you, if we all stop talking about him, he would fall off and we would never hear from him again. But because he
hmm
always says something controversial that's going to piss somebody off and force somebody to say something, it's, I mean, that's why he stays relevant.
hmm
Exactly. Clicks and engagement equals money.
and Is that what I gotta start doing?
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
No, like that, but like that's not how I am. I'm very straightforward. I don't just say things to say things. So I gotta stop talking about it because I'm getting more and more annoyed. Um,
Let's get back on track.
yeah, again, back to the NBA news. Trades. A lot of trades happened already so far. It's been a bit crazy,
Well,
unexpected, really. Um,
the first one I want to talk about is the Rocket deal. The Rockets
mhm,
and Suns.
yeah. Uh, yeah. I mean, I'm doing it in order. It happened on June 22nd, the last day of the season, really, because
Yes,
um,
Jeff is a straight shooter.
hmm I don't if fans are butts. I'm straight to the point. Um, Rockets receive Kevin Durant, and the Suns receive guard Jalen Green, guard Dylan Brooks, the 10th overall pick in this draft, and 5 second-round picks. And the Heat miss out on Kevin Durant again. No, I've already done. I think that was like my third rant. I'm not gonna rant again. I'm a bit upset that we missed out on him again.
Are you
Um,
sure?
yeah, because like I don't know if he'd even be a good fit in Miami, really.
To be honest,
What's up?
I don't think he would have been a great fit in Miami.
Yeah, so I'm like not upset with like missing out on him. Uh, but I don't know what the Suns are really concocting over there.
Yeah, there was rumors that he was supposed to go to the Spurs,
Hmm.
but the funny thing is, there was only three teams that literally only was willing to trade for Kevin Durant. The Rockets was one, Minnesota was another one, and I don't believe the
He,
Spurs was one.
I think Spurs made an offer. I think Spurs kind of made an offer, and
Just to test the
that's where he
waters.
wanted to. Yeah, and that's where he wanted to go, but the Suns said no on that one.
So, the only thing I got on that trade is you pretty much touched it up. Phoenix is getting Dylan Brooks and Jalen Green and six six future picks,
Hmm. Yeah, they
including
got
them. So they're
the
getting
10th pick. Yeah.
they're getting 10 pick. They're getting 7 picks total, which is crazy.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know if that was I mean, Tom would tell if that was a good move by Houston. I know it was a great move by Phoenix
Hmm.
because they've now got young talent in exchange along with draft picks that you could turn basically rebuild your franchise if you do it the right way. Houston, you're basically just mortgaging your future for one player.
Hmm. And I mean, Jalen Green, he underperformed in the playoffs, but it was like, I think really his first playoff run. I just don't know what the Suns are doing, really. They have three guards now that are going to need the ball. They have Devin Booker, Jalen Green, and Bradley Beal. And Bradley
Well,
Beal
not
has a no
only,
trade clause, so they can't
I
really
mean,
get off Bradley Beal. I just don't know like what they're really doing with that.
I understand Phoenix side of it. My side is Houston's basically saying we're basing everything on Kevin Durant, who I believe is 37, with not much left in the tank. I mean, let's face it, he's get up there and he's not going to be, you know, LeBron James way he's going to play until he's like 1,000 years old.
No.
And you, as Houston, you're basically saying this is a hit or bust season coming when next season starts. That it's going to be a hit or bust season for us. We either win a championship or not, because basically that's what it's going to come down to. Because you mortgage your franchise, you mortgage your future away for one player. Granted, he's an all-time great scorer, but again, you gave away the future of your franchise for one player.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've seen how well that worked out in the NFL when Minnesota did that with Dallas, gave away all their draft picks for Herschel Walker, and Dallas turned that into a Super Bowl winning team in the 90s. Sad they can't do it now, thank God. But
And that's the last time they were there.
But again, we've seen how that played out. It doesn't always work, especially when you're trading for an older player
Mm-hmm.
who's already had Achilles injuries. So, I mean, he's at the point where, anything could happen. And as Houston, now you're going to be sitting there saying, if something does happen, God forbid it doesn't, but if something does happen, now you're sitting there with your thumb up your ass thinking, what are we going to do now?
Oh, your boy Dak. Your boy Dak, Tony.
Fuck Dak.
There you go. Katie's one of those players. Yes, we've seen how in recent years, he went to the Nets and then he was traded to the Suns for a lot of picks and a lot of good prominent players like Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, and now he's traded to the Rockets for young pieces in Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks. And the 10th pick, whoever that may be, in tonight's draft, actually, the NBA draft is tonight.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah, me too. I think, Cooper Flag, he should be number 1 overall to the Mavericks.
Yeah, that's what everybody's predicting.
A lot of people say that's rigged because, they got rid of one white guy in Dallas and they're going to put another one in. So, I'm just going to say that one real quick.
Well, since we brought up Dallas, I just want to touch on Kyrie Irving opted out of his player option and will be re-signing with Dallas for 3 years for $119 million.
Mm-hmm.
Who's also coming off of a torn ACL.
Yes, he's rehabbing off an ACL tear. He'll be out for probably over half the season.
Yeah, they're expecting him to not even be back for maybe towards the end of the season, when they expect him to possibly be back. But the reason why he did that was to give Dallas cap room, so he could bring somebody in under the second luxury tax. So they'll have $7 million in the second luxury tax that they could use to bring in somebody that could fill his spot until he comes back. Which, I mean,
very.
I gotta give him credit. Hey, Brian, I gotta give him credit. That is very unselfish of him, because he could have opted in for next season and then go out in free agency and get more years and more money.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, he opted to opt out, take less money. Basically, he's taking a little bit less this year, but it's going to come in the later years. But again, he's giving Dallas that cap flex room, which a lot of players really don't like to do because they want their money.
Yep.
So, I mean, as much as Kyrie gets on my nerves at times,
He's been better recently. And
He has, yes, I will admit he has gotten better. But I mean, that was a. I mean, he literally gave up 43 million, and I think this season, I think with the new contract, I think he's getting 40 million. So he basically freed up $7 million for Dallas to sign 2 more players. Because with him re-signing, that gives him 13 players on the roster.
yeah. No, the COVID times was kind of weird for everybody. He was definitely acting very, very strange and different in that kind of time. But I mean, ever since then, he's been acting fine. He's been good. He's been just out there playing, hooping for his teams, helping them win.
I
And now
agree.
he's proving it again. He's back, and I mean, he was playing great for that Mavericks team until he tore his ACL. I mean, he was doing amazing. He had no off the court stuff. He was doing great on the court. His teammates loved him. The fans loved him. Um, no, he's not. I'm not even going to get into James Harden. I despise James Harden. I
That
cannot stand James Harden.
don't even get me started. Oh, don't get me started.
I James Harden. Oof. Mavs also made another deal on the 23rd. They re-signed their center Daniel Gafford to a 3-year, $60 million contract as well.
I am not going to respect the Beard. The Beard is a coach killer. No.
He's a franchise killer. I will say that one. He is
definitely a franchise killer.
He's a big baby. You want to talk about Kyrie crying? James Harden's the ultimate crier.
I agree.
But they have made 2 key re-signings. They re-signed their center for multiple years to come, and they re-signed Kyrie. So they're keeping that core intact while they're going to, again, draft Cooper Flag. So.
Yeah, I don't care. He got a nasty 3. Hell, Steph Curry got a nasty 3. But James Harden, he's a franchise killer. Every franchise he goes to, he's destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Jason.
Smart ass. All right. Well, second trade happened on the 23rd, so 2 days ago. The Celtics are blowing it up, people. They are hitting the panic button right now. I understand they are paying a lot of money to a lot of people on that roster.
Yes, that is a bloated roster with a lot of big contracts.
And I'm going to say this. They're paying Jaylen Brown $300 million, and they don't even want to see if he could be the number 1 option without Jason Tatum. So you're going to tell me they are completely fine with paying Jaylen Brown $300 million? They can have fun trying to get him. I don't think Spurs are going to give him up.
I don't think so either.
They're fine with paying Jaylen Brown $300 million to be the second option to Jason Tatum for all these years now. $300 million. He's not even the star on the team.
So I posted something about that in our group when I seen that they traded Porzingis, and that's the question is, are they hitting the panic button? Because that's what it sounds like. It was a 3-team trade between Boston, the Hawks, and the Nets, where the Celtics are sending Porzingis in a second-round pick to the Hawks, and the Celtics is getting George Niang, whatever his name is, in a second-round pick. Yeah. And the Nets is getting Terrence Nance in the 22nd pick. Yeah. What was it, 2 seasons ago Jaylen Brown was signed that $300 million contract?
Yeah, and yeah. just ridiculous to be the second option. I mean, this is to me kind of actually a smart trade by the Celtics. I don't really have a problem with it. They got off a big contract with Porzingis, and he's been injured a lot these past 2 years, and I mean a lot.
Even when he was a Knick, he was injured. He's frail.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, that tends to happen with a lot of these centers, like with these 7-footers. We see Yao Ming and Greg Oden and a bunch of these tall centers. Their legs can't.
With some of the tall centers like Yao Ming and Greg Oden, a lot of them was just basically because they was really just having too much height and their body wasn't able to sustain it. But people like Porzingis and Mitchell Robinson, those guys don't have that frame. Their frame is what's getting them injured because they don't have the frame to bang around with a lot of other players. And so, they get more ankle injuries than anything else.
Yeah, I mean, the Celtics said they get George Niang, which is a good backup for forward. I think this is just kind of a meh trade. I mean, yeah, the key name in this is Porzingis. Atlanta gets another big man next to Trae Young. He'll play about 40-some games, and that'll be about it. Again, Celtics made another trade. They traded Drew Holiday to the Blazers for Anthony Simons and 2 second-round picks. And Drew Holiday is pissed. Drew Holiday, I read something, he is not happy to be in Portland.
I can't blame him. I mean, Portland.
But I mean, it's part of the job. It's part of the.
I agree. This is part of the business, and the trade that surprised me that was actually kept kind of quiet because I really didn't know about it until I was actually on Fox Sports and I seen it on the app, was the Washington Wizards and New Orleans Pelicans.
Yeah. This no one's been talking about. It's been very quiet, very
exactly
left under because it's two teams. It's two very boring and underachieving teams, so that's why it was talked about.
And for those that don't know, the Pelicans are sending veteran guard C.J. McCollum and center Kelly Olynyk and a future second-round pick to Washington for guard Jordan Poole, wing Sadiq Bey, and the 40th pick in Thursday's. Oh, the draft is tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
In Thursday's draft.
Oh, I mean, that's the second round, so I think first round's tonight.
No, they do everything in one night. It's not like the NBA because they only got 30 teams, so they fly through it. If I'm not mistaken.
No, it's tonight too.
Is it?
Yeah. It says Wednesday, June 25th through Thursday, June 26th.
Wow, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the top 10 or 9 picks are Dallas, San Antonio, Philadelphia, Charlotte, Utah, Washington, New Orleans, Brooklyn, and Toronto.
Yeah, I just pulled it up on the ESPN app.
Mm-hmm. So I think that starts soon. It should start soon.
Yeah, it starts at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, so in a minute. And I'll get the notification, Cooper Flag drafted, this person drafted, and it's great.
Yeah, I got
this.
Might as well like that too.
Mm-hmm. This is a very interesting trade. I think both teams kind of win in this situation. The Pelicans, they get a good talented the veteran guard in CJ, which I think needs kind of like a new start right now. Sorry, the Wizards get CJ. I flipped it. And Olynyk, he is still a good backup center when they need it. Yeah, I think Spurs, they're going to keep loading up on the young talent. I don't know how they keep doing it, but they're just got to keep loading up on that. And Jordan Poole, he needs a reset button, so he's going to the Pelicans with Zion. That could be a fun duo there if Zion could ever stay on the court.
Okay. How many times are we going to hit the reset button on Jordan Poole?
A lot.
Because I know we hit the reset button when he was in Golden State.
Yeah. And Draymond punched him. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And now we're going to hit the reset button on him again after being in Washington, now going to New Orleans. At what point do we stop hitting the reset button and just hit the kick out button?
I mean, he's still a good player. I mean, the Wizards aren't nothing good. Sorry, any Wizards fans. You guys are absolutely terrible.
I mean, the Wizards is a shit show.
I mean, that guy had to try and carry his poor Wizards team.
I mean, yes, the Wizards is a shit show. New Orleans, I mean, they're trying hard, but they're also pretty much a shit show as well. Because Zion Williams don't know if he wants to stay or go.
Or just keep getting money and just not play.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I think, it. And NBA draft has now started. Again, I'm sure we're going to be getting the notifications pretty soon. Cooper Flag to be drafted to the Dallas Mavericks, and I think the Heat have it's a 20th pick. I think we get around the same pick every year because we finish in the same spot every year. So, it's just like the freaking Steelers. Yeah, we have the 20th pick. Hopefully we get someone that we need. Maybe we'll make a trade sometime soon. I don't know. I heard that, if we don't get KD, which we didn't, DeMar is a valuable option. We'll see how that is. I wouldn't mind having DeMar, but don't know what we'd give up for him. Again, I think Duncan Robinson would be in the deal. I do like Duncan, but he needs to get better on defense. He is 6'8" and cannot play defense. I don't know how that happens, but Spurs at 2. I haven't been really following the NBA draft prospects. So I couldn't even tell you really. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Don't feel bad. Neither can I.
Honestly, it doesn't matter because they draft good anyway. Everyone they've drafted has worked out, so they don't really ever miss in a draft. I don't think, especially recently.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I really haven't followed up on the NBA draft, not as much as I do with the NFL draft. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't tell you. The only one that I knew about was Cooper Flag. That was because he constantly kept popping up on my notifications. So I actually started looking into him. But yeah, other than that, I couldn't tell you.
Looks like the Knicks don't even have a first-round pick.
No, because they gave it away when they traded for Anthony Carl Town.
Oh yeah, that's right. That is right.
I mean, that was another one where they basically traded the future of the franchise for one player. But with Towns' situation, he's only 32 compared to Durant, who's almost 40.
Mm-hmm.
So you could get more years out of Towns than you will Durant.
Yeah, I have a coworker who was worried that the Knicks were going to trade for KD and just ship everyone else off, and he would have been very pissed off. He would have been like, no.
Oh, the minute that report came out, which was put out by Phoenix, that they was going to work, trying to work out a deal with the Knicks for KD. New York immediately shut that down. Says, no, we're not after KD. We don't want him.
I don't blame him. I really don't. New York's in a good spot right now. The East is wide open with all these Achilles tears. This is your guys' year. This is really your guys' year. It all happened in the East. It happened to Hallie, Tatum, and Dame. Yeah, we don't know what's going on with Giannis, if he's going to stay with the Bucks. There's reports he wants to stay.
Personally, I don't see Giannis staying with the Bucks.
Like, if he wants to actually win, he ain't going to win in Milwaukee. He can't do it by himself anymore.
No.
So
I mean, he did win one in Milwaukee, but yeah, it's not going to happen again.
No. Heat are still the Heat. We're not getting much better at the moment. So it's kind of Knicks East to kind of go right now.
There's something with your Heat that kind of irritates the shit out of me. But it's the funny thing is, it's not a bad irritation. It's one of those. It's one of those where how the fuck do this team keep sticking around when they basically have a second unit squad starting?
Mm-hmm. Giannis ain't going to the Spurs or the Pacers. Fuck off out of here. He's not going to either one of those teams.
No.
I don't know if they even have the cap room for it. That's always the big issue. I think cap is a lot. I could be talking shit right now, but I think cap in the NBA is a lot lower than it is in the NFL because you have to support more players. So that's why the NFL.
I'll tell you in 1 second.
Because I think there's a lot more cap room in the NFL, and that's how all these players get all these big contracts there. Whereas the NBA is more of a lower cap salary. Yeah, I mean, my Heat, I will tell you that I think the only answer really is Eric Spoelstra.
So the cap for this year in the NBA is $140.588 million.
Okay.
Which is definitely a lot lower than NFL.
Yeah. Yeah, again, my Heat, the only reason why we're still kind of relevant is Eric Spoelstra. I've had this talk with a few coworkers and other people around me. What's that Heat team that was there when we won those multiple championships? Wasn't that great after you look at the big three. I think it was Spoelstra's mentality and in the way he coached. Yes, LeBron was great, D-Wade was great, and Bosh, he was great. But after that, you got Mario Chalmers, Norris Cole, Shane Battier, Mike Miller, Chris Anderson, Joel Anthony, James Jones. You think just a normal old Joe coach is going to get that team to back-to-back NBA Finals and win 3 out of 4?
Well, it should have been 2 out of 5. It should have been. They only should have won 2. Ray Allen saved their ass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then Pop made a stupid decision by not having Tim Duncan in the final minute or final seconds of that game. That Ray Allen saved their ass, where he could grab the rebound. Because if the Spurs grab the rebound in that series is over.
Oh, I know. But I just think it's all Spo. We'll do that when it comes to the...
Yeah, when it gets closer to the season.
Yeah, this season just ended, so we're ramping up for football. It's like my favorite season. We got football coming up. We got our our fantasy football stuff going on.
Yeah, we'll probably do NBA sleepers probably towards the end of
For August?
September, beginning of October. Right, basketball season is about to officially
Oh
start.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, we'll do it like again, just how we did it for the NFL, because we got the preseason coming up in July, so then NFL season starting a little bit. So that's we try and keep it going. Soon we'll be doing the record predictions, which is fun. I always like doing those, and then we come back and see how we did at the end of the season. I like doing the record stuff. Oh, my
Yeah,
ESPN just went off. Oh, Mavericks are on the clock now. Oh boy. I wonder who they're gonna pick. Oh, the Spurs traded the number 38 pick in the draft to the Pacers for a future second round pick and cash. So there you go, Jason. Your Spurs are making moves. Big moves.
which fantasy league?
Oh, he's doing one for his network of people, so that's what he's talking about.
Oh, for what sport? Football, basketball,
It's football. It's football.
football.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could probably do another fantasy league. Well, join another one because we have ours that about to open up next week.
Yep. Cooper Flag drafted to the Dallas Mavericks. What a surprise. And we'll stay on live for right now to see who the Spurs pick. All right, Jason. We'll see. I have so many leagues. I haven't even checked and seen when all the drafts are, honestly.
Ours is the last Sunday of before the season starts, or the last Saturday.
Yeah, it's August 30th at 8 p.m.
Yeah,
I never know with my work yet, but I don't really care. I'll do it. That'll be fine. Oh yeah, and we got the Big Skin Pick'em that we could do every week. I forgot
yep.
about that.
I forgot about that till you just mentioned it.
I love football season. I love football season. So much to talk about all the time.
Exactly.
I got my injury list every week too. Whew.
Yeah, Jason, I'm the same way with my league. I do my draft right before the season starts. I do mine on a Saturday, instead of the Sundays because with at least on Saturday, pretty much almost everybody is off.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Pigskin Pick'ems.
Yep.
We should add him to the
football
group.
ones. Yeah, we should. He's a football guru. He absolutely loves football, so I think he'd be good to go against. All right, let me pull up the draft on my phone, the live draft. Let me see. Let's see where we are. All right, Spurs on the clock. There's about 4 minutes left, so they're really going through it. Let's see who they pick.
I think they're going to take
Very
Dylan Harper.
I think that
They
would
don't
be.
need it.
I mean, they have so many guards, man. Is he a guard or is he a forward? I don't pay attention.
He's a guard.
Yeah, they have so many. So, this is the only way that I think Giannis would somehow be on the Spurs is if they trade the second pick. If they trade this, because I know they have the second pick. If they trade the second pick, to the, I don't know how they have the second overall. I think if I'm them, they have so many assets to win now I would trade the second pick, maybe like Jay said, for Giannis and I don't know a few
I mean, that
a
wouldn't
few
be a
good
bad
players.
idea
No,
because then you
oh,
put in Giannis and Wembanyama together.
that would be disgusting. 7'5" and 7 foot.
That's Twin Towers Part 2.
Mm-hmm. That's nasty. All right, the pick is in, but they're interviewing Cooper right now. So
Of course.
and his girlfriend.
Fucking
That's like,
ESPN.
that's why I have it on mute. All right, Jay, who are they gonna pick? Oh, they gotta have it on mute. It's Stephen A. and Bob Myers sitting there talking now. Jesus Christ.
Oh, God. It's going to be about an hour before the pick gets in.
hmm I can go take another nap before going to work. Before I get this pick. And whoever that guy is, I never know who he is, but they always have him on. I have it on mute, and I know that he's just yelling and screaming. This is gonna take. Why are they still showing Cooper Flagg's family? Fuck off! Who cares? He was drafted already. Can we move on? There's other people in the draft now.
Well, we know that's not going to happen.
Come on. Duke players drafted number 1 overall. Elton Brand, Kyrie Irving, Zion, Paulo, and now Cooper Flag. Oh, there's some hit and misses in there.
There's always some hit and misses.
Well, I
Now I'm
mean,
getting
the
all these
pick is
damn
in.
notices about
so,
Cooper Flag.
Yeah. Oh, well, the pick is in, so they didn't trade it. Which. So I'm kind of. I mean, I think that they'll pick Dylan Harper, but again, it's the Spurs. They somehow draft well. So. They do know what they're doing.
This is true.
Whoever they pick, I do have a high expectations for them, and I expect them to do good. All right, they're finally talking about it. Yep, Dylan Harper. That was
I had
right
a feeling
pick.
that's what it would be.
Pick. Yep, him and Castle in the backcourt. And I saw something that Wembanyama has put on 30 pounds.
I don't know if that's going to be good for him or bad for him.
Well, I mean, he is really skinny. He was getting
Yeah, he is.
a lot. So, I think, yeah, he's like me, but 7'5". So, I mean, Pop was there all last year anyway. So, and I think that your interim or whoever it was did a fine job with what he had. It just Wembanyama went out with the injury with blood clots.
It's going to be interesting to see the Spurs without Pop on the sidelines anymore.
But I mean, again, like they did it last year. I mean, and we'll see. We'll see how it does, how it works. But yeah, I mean, Spurs made the right pick there. I just don't know. I am interested to see who the Heat would get at 20, but that's gonna take forever.
Yeah.
Sixers, Charlotte, Utah. Sixers are a good mess. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I think we'll just let it go to the first 5 picks, and then we'll just cut it off at that point.
Okay. Philly has a bunch of just roster issues. Embiid can't stay healthy. Maxey is pretty much the biggest. I like Maxey. I don't really like Embiid too much. I think he cries and moans and complains too much for being someone that's 7'1" and weighs as much as he does. Again, Harden, he did use to play there. I'm not gonna get in a rant on James Harden. It won't even be a rant. Like, we could talk about him while we wait for the pick from the Sixers.
No, because they'll turn it into a rant.
No, but James Harden, on Thunder, he didn't bother me. And really on the Rockets, when he was first there, he didn't bother me. He was completely fine. And then when things started not going his way is when he started whining and complaining and wanting his way out. And then he got fat. There's that meme picture of him warming up for a game, and he looks very big and chunky.
Yeah, I remember that.
So then he whined and complained his way out of Houston, and he got traded to the Nets. And we all know how that worked out. That did not work out good. So then as soon as that didn't start working out,
He whined and complained and got out of New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. And then he got on the Sixers. And then when that big three didn't work out, he whined and complained his way out of the Sixers. And when he got to the Clippers, he then... Oh my god, wait. Who did he go after? Daryl Morey?
Yeah.
He had an Adidas or some kind of press conference. And he said that Daryl Morey is a lying sack of shit. I don't trust him. I don't like him. In front of everybody.
I mean, that's a good way to get, traded off a team.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, so that's why I don't like him. I don't care what he does as far as scoring wise. If you don't have a good character, that's another half of the part of playing basketball. You have to have a good character on you. They could. They definitely could. All the young players are getting better. Again, we'll just see what they do with their coaching situation. Know that they just signed that guy to a multi-year deal. Sorry, I can't remember his name. I will get his name. Hold on. I won't be disrespectful. What is his name? Not Greg Popovich. I know it's Greg Popovich, or it was. Mitch Johnson is his name. Mitch Johnson. Mitch Johnson. Sixers are still on the clock. With 40 seconds left, they don't know what they want. they have 4 minutes to pick, and they're like, I don't know.
Typical Sixers.
And beat me 63 games last year. Jeez, they're letting this time wind all the way down. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's showing me it's already at 0.
Yep, the pick is in. YouTube TV is like a few seconds behind. Spurs, I think they will. It's tough because the West is loaded. West has so many good teams in the West. It's very tough to tell if they can sneak in there.
Oh, you know what we did forget to talk about?
Uh-oh, what?
Which would have been rant number 4.
What?
Your boy LeBron James in the Lakers, because the Lakers sold the majority rights of the Buss family sold the majority rights of the Lakers, and the new owners basically told LeBron James bye bye.
Whatever. Well, pick is in. They're picking. VJ Edgecombe, a guard from Baylor. So another guard. LeBron James. Yeah, don't. I'm Jay. I'm sure I will rant about him sometime throughout the season. He said something stupid recently.
There's a surprise.
He said something about ring culture and how people only chase rings now.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Which was kind of really funny because that's what he did when he went to Miami and he formed the Big Three.
Exactly. So apparently Dennis Rodman got a wind of that and went off on him.
Yeah. Ring culture, ring chasing, but then he did it, and then he went to LA and then he recruited AD and he did it again with the Mickey Mouse ring. I understand.
Remember, he went back to Cleveland first. He went back to Cleveland first. Recruited Kevin Love.
He already had Kyrie.
Well, Kyrie was already there because Kyrie was drafted there. And then they won a ring, and then he went to LA. Couldn't win nothing. Built a super team. They didn't do nothing. Recruited AD, and then in a bubble won a championship.
Yeah, and then he talks about ring culture. That's just.
It's like how are you going to sit there and talk about ring chasing when you're the poster boy for ring chasing?
Yeah, like either him or KD. It just made me laugh. I saw another thing, like Jordan said. Again, this whole LeBron Jordan debate, who's the GOAT? We don't ever talk about it on this podcast really because we're more talented than that to talk about that on the podcast.
Because we pretty much know what all of us is going to pick.
But
neither one of us is picking LeBron.
No, but that's what ESPN does because they have nothing else to talk about. They bring up that stupid debate all the time. And I think Jordan said it perfectly. He said, I'm great and LeBron's great. There's two different eras and you can't compare them. You can't compare the teams in the 80s and 90s to the teams we have now.
Which I agree, because the league is a lot different.
So different. It is so different. So Jordan said it so perfectly.
And also another thing, a lot of players also said, is you never heard Jordan self-proclaim himself the GOAT.
GOAT or the King James, like have a crown on his head.
Like other players are the ones who was calling Jordan the GOAT. Jordan never claimed himself to be the GOAT. Where LeBron claims himself to be the king and the GOAT. It's like, well, if you got to make yourself a self-proclaimed GOAT and king, then you're really not the GOAT or the king. You're more of a clown. You're a court gesture. That's exactly what you are. A court gesture that statted his patted his stats.
welcome to the 5 viewers. Those shot up real quick. Whew, that was fast. Went from 1 to 2 to 5. Yeah, live NBA draft going on here. We're listening to VJ Edgecombe talk right now. Now the Hornets are on the clock. Hornets are on the clock.
Well, I'm really not much of a hockey fan, but yes, I will have to agree. Wayne Gretzky is the greatest of all time in hockey.
Mm-hmm. Like in hockey, yeah, I'd have to say that one. Wayne.
In baseball, it's kind of hard to pick for the simple fact is, are you talking about hitters or pitchers?
Yeah, like baseball's a tough one, and especially with the hitters. I'm sorry, but who's doing roids?
That too.
Because that really does play a big part of who was hitting the ball farther. NBA. I mean, I'm gonna say Jordan every time.
Agreed.
And NFL, I'm gonna say.
Oh, he means the goat of all sports.
Yeah, like
Ooh, that's kind of hard.
Again, I don't really watch hockey. I don't.
I mean, is it more easy to do the sport or go to each sport? But to do it to say that one person's the goat of all the sports, that's a tough one.
Because yeah, like each sport has its physical limitations, and like I don't think a hockey player can go play in the NBA, and I don't think an NBA player can go play in hockey.
Well, not only that, I mean, how could you rank? What would be the criteria?
Like, are we just basing off championships? Are we just are we basing off stats? Like, what are we trying to base it off of? Because like, if we base off championships, then Bill Russell's number 1.
I agree.
But if we're going off stats, then it's got to be something else. I think it would be Wayne Gretzky, because when you talk about all the sports, Wayne is the only clear player in the sport. That is true. I don't ever see anyone really debate about Wayne Gretzky. It could be Mahomes.
He has a catch.
Tom Brady
Tom
is
Brady.
obviously ahead of him. Tom Brady, as much as I don't like him either, he was annoying.
I agree.
But Tom Brady's obviously still ahead. But again, I think Pat needs to kind of if he catches up to him in the championships. Oh, the Hornets just picked Kuhn Pell, a wing from Duke. So another Duke player gets drafted. Interesting.
I can't stand Duke.
That's why you're sitting down. Ah. Dad joke of the day. There it is, people. But yeah, sports goat is a tough one because again, there's just so many ways to look at it. Yeah, I don't know. Any other topics, Jay? You want to in the
I have to
comment?
make that a topic one day.
Yeah, so then I can actually have like more, like I can like research more stuff on that, so I can see it.
Yeah, we actually have to make that the topic for the July 9th show.
Mm-hmm.
And for those of you wondering why the July 9th show, that's because we're going to have a special guest on that show. We're not going to reveal it just yet.
Mm-hmm. All right, Jay. I didn't know if you had any more off your noggin to ask while we wait for the 5th pick.
Let's see.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he said he's retiring after this year. I mean, I didn't think it was anything really big to talk about because, I mean, I think we all kind of knew that. He's 41.
Well, yeah, that was expected.
I mean, I guess we'll see. I mean, again, I think, notice how there's been nothing else, though. He's just like, oh, I'm going to retire. There's been no drama, nothing. Nothing so far. Because
It's kind
all
of
they're asking
shocking.
him, but again, it's because all they're asking him to do is play football. They're not asking him to be a GM, a head coach, a part owner. They're just letting him go out there and just play football. Yeah, the Browns QB room is a joke. One of them
That's a
can't stay
shit
out of
show.
the one of them can't stop speeding. I mean, I don't know if he's trying to hit his draft number with the speeding ticket or what. Like, he needs to like knock it off. He needs to smarten up a little bit. That was messed up. I'm sorry, but yeah. What was it? 143. I don't. I even have in my notes what car he was using. Oh, I gotta see this.
I think the first time was. I think we lost Jeff. Okay, since I lost my partner in crime, I think he's having connection issues. So it looks like Utah's now 1 o'clock. I think Jeff might have lost his connection. There he goes. He's back. Welcome back, buddy.
I technical difficulties. Shador Sanders, uh, he was going that speed limit in a black Dodge TRX truck. He was even doing it in a sports car. He was doing 101 in a truck. You freaking idiot. Technical difficulties.
Well, I don't know what to say about that.
Again, I think he's trying to hit his draft number, the speeding. Oh, Ace Bailey to the Jazz, another guard for them again.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. All right, we're gonna call it a night, folks.
Yeah, Jay, I'll see you at work in an hour.
You gotta work tonight again?
Yep, they keep messing with my schedule.
Oh, assholes.
I'm not gonna say nothing live on air. I love the Giant.
All right, folks. We'll see you
Yeah,
everybody
watch.
next week. This will be at the same 7 o'clock. Well, unless you guys talk about your schedule.
Yeah. That's all right.